What up, people? This is your boy Dedrian Colon from House of Rasslin, and here is my review for the January 26th edition of AEW Dynamite. It's the beach break, and this show was pretty cool. I didn't go into it with high expectations, like, oh my god, there's going to be this massive debut. One thing that if you've watched AEW regularly and since its inception, that they do give you surprises. There are debuts, but you have to pay attention to their clues leading up to the surprise. Tonight was no exception to that. The person that who made his debut has been somewhat tweeting AEW wrestlers and specifically Billy Gunn and his sons and all that other stuff, and CM Punk. But it was pretty cool to see. I'm going to start off with that right away. Danhausen. Yes, Danhausen is all elite. He made his debut in the Adam Cole Orange Cassidy Lights Out match. Adam Cole, he went underneath the ring to grab a garbage can. I believe it was a garbage can or a chair. Actually, no, it was a chair. And you see this person come on. You're like, man, who's this? And lo and behold, see the makeup and everything. It's Danhausen. That's pretty cool. I'm glad that he's recuperated from his injury. He was sidelined with I think a broken ankle or something like that. I don't think it was a broken ankle, but it was something severe with his ankle that he was out for a period of time. So thankfully he's doing well. He was walking okay and everything. That guy is a huge indie star. But more importantly, like, he's been on Conan O'Brien's show. Like, he's got name and pull. It's going to be interesting how they utilize him going forward. But it ties into this whole theme of the show and just how the show was working. A couple weeks ago, I mentioned how AEW was missing something. It still feels like that cloud from the New Year's Eve tweet, or New Year's Eve tweet. It's kind of still there. I think what's added to it was, or there's like a different cloud on it, was the tweet that Leo Rush tweeted out. I believe it was last week or the end of, a few days ago. There you go. That he's a free agent. So a lot of people are telling, oh, well, it has to do something with, Big Swole and stuff like that, not understanding how contracts work. He wasn't on a long-term deal. He's been recording his music video and stuff like that. So you have that issue. And also, you have an abundance of talent who was released in October from WWE. You still have the Ring of Honor people that are somewhat free agents. So you have this abundance of talent that are going to be available pretty much in the next couple of weeks. I'm not even going to say a month. Literally in the next couple of weeks. So I think what we're seeing, and I think I mentioned this on a few reviews before, that I think what we're seeing with AEW is like a slight holding pattern and also a transition at the same time with the talent that you're possibly going to be seeing coming in. You still have Ember Moon, you still have Mia Kim, you have Keith Lee, you have Karrion Kross, which I think that might be a March, April. But still, you just have these months of, these guys that are going to be available. Also, you have AEW contracts that are set to expire. So there's this weird, it's not weird. It's just a transition thing that's going on with AEW. I think that's why if you watch the program and you really watch it from a objective standpoint and you look at it, you're like, okay, it doesn't have the continuity as far as the flow and the pacing that it normally had. Maybe the first time when they went back on the road and Malakai Black debuted and stuff like that. Like, those first few shows just were on fire. So it's something there. Hopefully they figure it out and everything, because the more these wrestling companies have a solid structure as far as their creativity and just storytelling, the more it's better for us, because it's going to be fucking good. So I look forward to that. But yeah, this is going to be fun with Danhausen. but starting off the night, what I liked about this show, there wasn't too many things that I didn't like about the show. I think it was just I've noticed this on Raw, like a lot of wrestling shows. There's a lot of moments where the crowds just don't. They're just sitting there. I don't know what that is. It's really weird. I don't know if it's fatigue. I know it's not the wrestling companies, facilitating this fatigue. I think it's more wrestling fans arguing and fighting and just, trying to prove their case as far as where they think professional wrestling's going and which company's doing wrong, which company's right. And I think they're exhausting themselves on these unnecessary conversations that is taken away from enjoying the product. Like, there's a lot of things I don't like about WWE, but there's a lot of wrestlers who I do like in WWE. There's a lot of things I don't like about AEW, but there's a lot of things I do like about AEW and their wrestlers. And vice versa with WWE, NWA, Impact, all these wrestling companies, they have a lot of things I like, and there's a lot of things I don't like. There's a lot of wrestlers that I do like. So, hey, enjoy the wrestling. Like, stop just being bitter and confrontational and trying to prove your idea about what wrestling should be, right? Just enjoy wrestling, man. This is fun. But yeah, starting off the Cody Rhodes Sammy Guevara ladder match for the TNT Championship. That was a badass match, and I believe it was the first ladder match ever in AEW, and very good, very good. For me, I mean, I've seen countless ladder matches from WWE, ECW, TNA. I've seen ladder matches like it's going out of style. But this one, man, there were some spots that Cody Rhodes and Sammy Guevara did. It cringed me because I think it's because right now I'm doing okay, but I have a pinched nerve. That's why you guys haven't seen me produce a lot more videos than I normally was doing. Just want to take a rest and take it easy and everything. But because I have this pinched nerve that comes and goes and stuff like that, like any spot with the neck and everything, I'm just like, oh God. But man, Sammy Guevara, Cody, that was the match of the night. Those boys did something amazing. Cody Rhodes did a suplex off the ladder, and those ladders weren't like any type of ladder. Man, those ladders were probably 20-foot ladders, and the execution of doing that suplex off the ladder from that height between Cody Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, perfect, man. Because, I mean, most wrestling fans are like, oh, man, that's pretty cool, but you don't understand the execution that, Cody Rhodes, like, any wrong movement, Cody Rhodes' back tweaks or something like that, he's screwed up. Sammy Guevara, any mishap with him, he lands, his knees twisted. So, I mean, it could have gone wrong, but, man, thankfully, it did not go bad or anything. The other spot was the leapfrog cutter that Sammy Guevara did on Cody Rhodes as he was trying to grab both the TNT title belts. Another spot, perfect. Like, damn, man, this is good. And that was the start off Dynamite, which was really cool. Cool way to start it off. It's interesting why they would start it off, but hey, I'll take it. Hey, it's a Wednesday night. I want to watch some good wrestling. Thank you. And then we had Cody Rhodes doing the Crossroads on Sammy Guevara, and that was dope. That was a dope match. Again, I recommend you guys see this match. It was amazing. But yeah, I like the match. Sammy Guevara won. Let's see where this goes as far as the TNT title. A lot of challengers. They might go back to the open challenge, which is pretty cool because if Sammy has the TNT Championship and there's an open challenge, you have all these somewhat free agents available. Could we see Keith Lee? Could we see Swerve Scott? Isaiah Swerve Scott? I hope so. This is going to be fun. Then you had Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs doing a promo. Powerhouse Hobbs had a mink coat outside doing an interview with Tony Schiavone, him and Ricky Starks. That was funny. Those two guys is dope. And I think what I do like about the last month of AEW Dynamite, the first 2 weeks of Dynamite were kind of, like I said, it was just something missing. It was just a dark cloud. But I do got to give them some credit that we're starting to see a lot of the younger guys get some promo time on Dynamite, on Rampage. Like, you're starting to see their face. And I know a lot of people, I want them in the ring. Hey, you got to start somewhere. And the more you see their face, you're like, man, I want to see him. And it's cool. It's cool. I'm a big fan of Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. Powerhouse Hobbs, to me, he reminds me of a modern-day Dr. Death Steve Williams. He just got that speed, that power. He's just got it, man. And I like it. You had Wardlow in the squash match with two pretty much jobbers. Then you had a trios match with Jericho and Santana and Ortiz versus Garcia and 2.0. What was interesting about this match, and again, wrestling fans, if you watch AEW, they always give you clues. This is why people enjoy AEW. Now, for those of you who want to put AEW against WWE, that's on you. Go touch grass. Please, go touch grass. That's not me. But for me, who enjoys these clues, especially in WWE, when they do it, when any wrestling company does this, they leave these clues leading up to something that's really big. It's like, holy crap, it was there the whole time. Damn, how did I miss that? Or I knew it was going to happen. That's cool. That's what we want as wrestling fans. So Jericho, he comes out, and you see Santana and Ortiz right behind him, but they keep walking. And Jericho does his entrance and everything. And throughout the whole match, you see Santana and Ortiz are working, and they're kind of ignoring Jericho. And then they tag him in, and then as he's getting off it, they tag themselves right back in. So, long story short, what ends up happening, Santana and Ortiz are getting off as there's one of the members from 2.0 is outside, Danny Garcia, and Ortiz is outside. They're fighting and everything, and Jericho hits one of 2.0, which moves one of the other 2.0s, which hopefully I'm explaining this right. So what wound up happening was Santana missed a guy, and one of the 2.0 members wound up doing a small package, almost pinning him. He kicked out, and then as the 2.0 member went to the ropes, Jericho did the Judas effect. Santana pinned the member of 2.0, and that was the match. But then you had a weird altercation situation where you had Jericho going up the ramp. It's like, oh, that's how it's going to be. And you have Santana and Ortiz talking back to Jericho, which is, I know people are like, oh man, I hope they don't turn on Eddie Kingston. Man, I am waiting for the day that they turn on Chris Jericho. I think a lot of people have been waiting for those guys to turn. Like, they need to be on their own. They need to be with LAX, them, Diamante. Hell, add Mercedes Martinez into that group. Give us LAX, man. That's the faction. But that was pretty cool. The commentators mentioned it. Let me see. Yeah, one thing about this trios match with Santana Ortiz versus with Jericho against 2.0 and Danny Garcia, Tony Schiavone made it clear. He's like, yeah, Santana and Ortiz are long overdue for the tag team titles. If you pay attention, they have been saying that for a long time. I want to say a long time, but they've been saying that a lot frequently whenever Santana and Ortiz wrestles, whether it's Dark, whether it's Elevation, or whether it's Dynamite. They've been saying it. So it could be that they could be the ones that get the titles from Jurassic Express. I think that's what could happen. I don't know. We'll see. You had a promo by Lance Archer. Then you had a backstage segment between Jurassic Express and Private Party and Matt Hardy. Christian was there. It was pretty cool seeing Christian and Matt Hardy interact because you just have that long history between Edge and Christian versus the Hardy Boys. Matt Hardy, mentions, yes, Private Party reminds me of me and my brother. If you pay attention, Matt Hardy's been mentioning his brother, not by name, but just saying, yeah, my brother, my brother, my brother. I think it's inevitable that we see Jeff Hardy in AEW and we get that one last run between the Hardys in AEW, which is pretty cool. And if that means we get Darby Allin versus Jeff Hardy, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. I hope it happens. It's fun. Let's just look, wrestling fans, let's just have fucking fun. Quit with this freaking stupid shit that because you don't get what you want to stop it already. All right, stop it. Side note. So then you had the promo by CM Punk. He was in his ring gear. He's calling out MJF. They have this back and forth thing. It was pretty cool. I liked it. CM Punk played no games. Also, one thing to pay attention to, again, these hints. MJF was planting the seeds for what could be, and we all know that it's eventually going to happen, a CM Punk heel turn. You know, when CM Punk doesn't get what he wants, he's going to make it known. So, we'll see where that goes. But apparently next week, we're going to get MJF, CM Punk in Chicago, my hometown, where I'm currently residing in. That's going to be fun, how that plays out with the Chicago crowd, especially with it being in February. That's going to be fun. I look forward to how that's going to play out. If they're going to wrestle, MJF might find a way to swerve and get somebody out or something like that. Honestly, I won't be surprised if that happens. I do think that is going to be a match at Revolution, CM Punk and Darby Allin. Not Darby Allin, CM Punk and MJF. My bad, excuse me. I don't know. That could possibly be a major match for Blood and Guts. Maybe it could be. We'll see. Then you had a backstage segment with the Acclaimed. That was pretty cool. They were talking about Jon Moxley and everything. So we're going to get Anthony Bowens versus Jon Moxley this Friday on Rampage, which is going to be pretty cool. I actually like that they're actually stacking AEW Rampage with like some fun matches. And I wish all wrestling companies would do that. Like, just start booking some fun matches. Like, professional wrestling is supposed to be fun, not rigid and disgruntled. Like, come on, man. So you had that. You had backstage segment with Griff Garrison and Julia Hart. Mark Sterling comes in. He talks to Julia Hart. Like, yeah, Jade wants you to be her opponent. And Julia Hart's, just so eager to sign the contract. And Griff Garrison's like, hey, that's not a good thing. And she tells him off. And he's like, oh, okay. So apparently either this Friday or next week, we're going to get Jade Cargill versus Julia Hart, which probably going to be a squash match. Wouldn't be surprised. Then we had a match between Layla Hirsch and Red Velvet. This match, it was good, but there was something weird in the crowd. And it's unfortunate because these women really put on a decent match. Maybe it's because of the placement that they put the match in. It was after CM Punk and MJF, which a lot of those segments, the crowd's like, they're so into it and they put so much energy into booing MJF and just reacting that maybe after whatever comes after, they just want to chill and relax and everything. The crowd was very mellow and everything. It's one of those situations that, if you've been watching my reviews, I've been saying this a lot, that there's a lot of these wrestling shows that you watch on TV. These crowds are very mellow for a lot of portions of these shows, which is very I hope these companies are paying attention. Like, hey, this doesn't look good on TV, even though it could be, the audience wants to just chill, relax. I've been using all my energy for this moment. Let me just chill and get ready for the main event. But Layla Hirsch, you could say she's a heel. She won the match by grabbing the tights, and then afterwards, she just kept on beating up Red Velvet, and then Chris Statlander came through, break it up and everything. And I like Jim Ross, what he said. He's like, why is it these wrestlers chase other wrestlers and there's like this invisible wall that they stop at the apron or at the ramp? Like, Good point, JR. Then you had a promo by the House of Black. Whoo boy. Me describing it, and this is how good it was, me describing it, does it no justice. I recommend you find that promo on YouTube, or if it's on any of All Elite Wrestling's social media. House of Black with Brody King and Malakai Black. Very good promo. I loved it. I enjoyed it. It was so... It brought back that energy that was somewhat missing from the Red Velvet Layla Hirsch match. And it's no fault to the women's. That match was Layla Hirsch and Red Velvet. There was a lot of intensity and grit. For some reason, again, that crowd was not feeling it. I don't know what it was, but they weren't feeling it. But yeah, that Malakai Black, Brody King promo, watch it. Then after that, you had the Britt Baker promo. She was just talking about her accolades, her war. She was the first woman to sign with AEW. She's the patriarch. You know, she's the foundation of the women's division. Which, when she was given this promo, I'm like, man, who's coming out? Like, who is coming out? I think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see a few. We're gonna see quite a few debuts in AEW in the next month, 2 months or so. One name that came to mind that I don't know we might see is Taya Valkyrie. I think that could happen. I think it's one of the reasons why we've been seeing so many of the group of women's wrestlers that we've been seeing. We've been seeing on Dynamite and Rampage. You've been seeing, of course, you're going to see Jade Cargill and Britt Baker, but you've seen a lot of Red Velvet, Chris Statlander, Layla Hirsch, Serena Deeb. Trying to think of who else. She'd have got hurt, but she was there. Penelope Ford, the Bunny, and Nyla Rose. So I think there's a reason why you're seeing them there. Of course, you haven't seen Ruby, Soho for a while, but she was in GCW, and I know AAW here in Chicago a couple weeks ago. But I think we're going to see quite a few women wrestlers debut in AEW. It just felt like it was going to happen, but it didn't happen. So I don't know if it's going to happen next week in Chicago. We'll see. And then, of course, you had the announcement that we're going to get Lee Johnson and Brock Anderson versus FTR, which didn't happen last week on Rampage because of health medical protocol. I believe it was COVID protocol. Could be wrong. So we're going to get that Friday, which might be a squash match. I'm interested in this match more so because Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson. I really want this thing to be resolved, and I just want Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard to reunite and put a faction together that resembles the Horsemen. And I want Cody Rhodes, I want FTR, and I want... who else could there be? Just put those three together for now, and you'll figure the pieces together. I look forward to that match on Rampage. And then, of course, the main event, you have Adam Cole and Orange Cassidy in a lights out match. Again, when it's a lights out match, it's a non-sanctioned match, which means it does not go against the records, so to speak. I thought it was a pretty decent match. This match reminded me a lot of Adam Cole's work in NXT. It really did feel like an NXT main event match I saw like in early 2021, late 2020. That the work that Adam Cole was doing in NXT, like that's what it felt like. I really like this side of Orange Cassidy. I still say I think Orange Cassidy as a face, he's kind of getting to the all right, it's cool. Like he doesn't have that freshness that he had when he first started, and I think I could be wrong, but I think it's time turn him or fresh him, something. Have him show up in NWA or something like that. But I think it's time to turn Orange Cassidy. But it was a really solid match. And again, Adam Cole going for a chair. Danhausen appears. The Young Bucks come out. They super kick Chuck Taylor. Willer Yuta, he tries to come out, and Bobby Fish beats him up and everything. And the way the match finishes is Adam Cole goes up top because he hit Orange Cassidy, and as soon as he gets up there, he's like, where did he go? Orange Cassidy comes behind him. He hugs him, which was kind of corny. Of course, it is Orange Cassidy's character, but it did come across very corny. But long story short, he hugs him, and then after a while, Adam Cole's like squirming, like, oh, I can't get out. It's like, come on, dude. Like, you're not even selling. He hits you in the nuts. Was like, all right, whatever. And then Orange Cassidy, him and Adam Cole go through the side of the stage, and the ref counts 1, 2, 3, and that's the end of the match, and Orange Cassidy wins. So it was a fun Dynamite. It felt like something was missing, but not what I was. If you follow my reviews, not what I was. If you watch the review that I did 2 weeks ago, like, it didn't feel like it was missing something major. It just felt like something was missing. Like, something's missing here. But hopefully, next month or next week, we see what happens after the Royal Rumble. Because there's a lot of speculation that Cody could be entering in the Royal Rumble. He could be showing up. He's a free agent. We'll see where that goes. But this was really fun. It was really cool to see Danhausen after, he experienced, the injury that set him back and everything. He was unable to be at the Ring of Honor pay-per-view final battle, but we'll see where this goes with Danhausen and everything. But again, like I said in the beginning of this video, AEW is going through, if you really look at it, with the contracts that are coming up, the free agents that are available, right now, from now till possibly April, is when we're going to go through this season, which honestly, we've probably never seen this. If you watch AEW regularly, you've never seen this with AEW, this transition period. Of course, people could say, oh, well, Malakai Black, Andrade, those were bigger names. But when you have, these guys that were there from the beginning, and those contracts are coming up, and some of them might leave, some of them might stay, or, whatever. It's going to be an interesting time in AEW for the next, couple months. Let's see who joins them. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the WWE and Royal Rumble. Looking forward to Impact. I'm looking forward to all these wrestling companies just producing fun, entertaining content. Let me rephrase that. Fun, entertaining, professional wrestling on TV that, hey, you're just like, oh, man, I'm really looking forward to it. So this was my review for AEW Dynamite for January 26th. Like, subscribe, follow, share, comment on House of Wrestling on all social media platforms. You can follow me on TikTok at Dedrian180. That's Dedrin 180. Man, thank you guys. I appreciate all the love, support, all the subscribers and everything. I just enjoy this. Just to give you guys another heads up, this week, expect quite a few reviews. I will be doing a review for the Royal Rumble, and also I will be releasing my predictions as far as the Royal Rumble before the Royal Rumble. So expect that in the next 2 days or so. But hey, it's professional wrestling. Let's have fun. All right? Let's have fun. All right? I'm Dedrian Colon, House of Wrestling.